Hi Pisces, thanks for watching. Here we go with part 3 of the water signs reading for February 2020. This is all about what's coming up in the month ahead of us. As I speak, I'm using Tarot in Wonderland, my deck of choice. I've done the shuffling already just because it's taken forever to get these things uploaded, so I want to keep the as much content as possible in the reading. So there's a message to start with. Actually, try and give everything as much content as you can. Really put yourself into things as we go forward. So what's card number 1? Five of Wands. Now there's something going on here which looks like a battle, and it's a different kind of battle to what it looks like, really. People's egos are what's involved more than anything. So it is a fruitless kind of a battle, but at the same time people are working things out. And what you can work out about this one, Pisces, is that these people are basically arguing for nothing. The ego gets involved because it's part of our lives, it's part of all our minds. Many spiritual teachers try and get us to think that we have no ego, and I can see why they do that. There's a lot of positivity in that way of thinking. But at the same time, I believe that if we didn't have an ego, we would be dead. The most important thing to have is a healthy ego, a stable ego, because it is our life force. So there's an invitation to you here, Pisces, to get your own ducks in a row, for want of a better way of putting it, to know where you stand, and just to think about, life the way it's been, what influences have been around you in the past, what might make your ego slightly out of whack, slightly out of balance. But more than anything, it's the other people who are fighting this battle who need to be, they either need to come up with reasons for themselves as to why they are the way they are, or they just need to really maybe accept things from each other. There's a group thing, and as much as being a battle, this group situation could actually be very therapeutic. These people could actually all work it out. So there's positive potential. Lots of higher heart chakra pink in this picture, and the flamingos are there as well. And the flamingos tend to indicate a waste of time or the wrong tools or something futile in this Tarot in Wonderland deck, which is all based on the Tales of Alice in Wonderland. We are seeing playing cards here, and they're all the same suit. They're all the suit of spades. But nevertheless, there is something going on, something of a game. And, we act all kinds of things out through games and gaming. And the important thing to do is not so much to come up with a winner here, but to get everyone and everything into a state of balance. So different strokes for different folks. These readings are always like that. But think of it, Pisces. What problems could the ego be causing around you? And how is your own ego feeling, basically? Has somebody said or done something that's made you feel that maybe part of your life is inadequate, or part of something that you're doing isn't adequate? This is often a problem in relationships. And in relationships, it's very often that people assume that they're not good enough, rather than the fact that they actually aren't good enough. It's true of life all over the place, but it's particularly true in relationships. We're sort of walled off from nature, see. We've got nature in the background, but a very neatly mown lawn here. A little bit of nature showing through at the front, but there's a wall along separating us from our own nature here. But nevertheless, nature isn't too far away, and our own human nature is very much a part of the way we are. And we're looking at deep-rooted things that might have made us feel as if we're not good enough. And you are good enough, Pisces. You know you are if you really think about it. We all are. We all come here with a mission, and we all come here with talents that nobody else has got, and quite often talents that nobody else can see. But as long as we know we've got them, we're in the best place to move forward. So moving forward from that card, let's see what we've got now. It's the middle card in this spread for the sign of Pisces for February 2020. It's number 19 in the Major Arcana. It's the Sun. So being Major Arcana, it's very close to your heart. And in terms of numerology, we've gone from a 5 here, where we're sort of halfway to where we need to be. Oh, and by the way, being a Wands card, it is a fire sign card, this one. So we need to be thinking about Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, people of those signs around us, or where those signs are in our own birth chart. This, though, very close to the heart of the Sun card. And Alice is basically ready. The whole story of Alice in Wonderland is of her growing from childhood into being a woman. And she's sitting here with these two characters who are the two queens here are actually, you know, very senior people in terms of being queens. And of course, they've grown up a lot more than she has. But nevertheless, she's reached that stage of life where she's ready to embark on her adult journey. So she's allowed into the club, if you will. And this is the heart of the matter, being the centre card. So whatever's going on with egos here, and I suspect this is more to do with other people getting in the way than anything else. Once you actually clear that out of the way, you are actually sitting pretty here, ready to go forward. We've got sunflowers all over, reminding us of the sun. And in astrology, the sun has a lot to do with leadership and rulership. There's also a planet called Regulus, but really, really close to the Earth and close to everything that's going on with us. The sun is the strongest influence over the way we govern our lives, you know, the way it comes into politics a lot because those people are leaders. But this is about leadership of your own life. And Alice has now got to go forward and be in charge of herself. So that's really what's going on at this point, Pisces. That's what really needs to be focused on. So you are ready. You need to have confidence in that. And this card is an invitation to think about that and to take, you know, as long as you need to take, really, because it is very, very important. But it's 19, it's very close to completion in terms of numerology. We really are getting towards making things successful and making things happen. And 2020 is that kind of year, actually. Very much has changed in astrology and in the nature of the planets and the universe. The whole solar system is moving into a new place in the universe. Where we are much less protected than we used to be. Only last year we were in a different part of the universe. In fact, we've been there pretty much all of our lives, everyone who's alive at the moment, where we were protected a lot by strong magnetic fields. Now we're out there, now we're having to make the most of it for ourselves, but we've got the best chance of doing it because you can be overprotected, and many of us have. So the two queens here, they're not there to overprotect Alice in any way. They're not really there to protect her. They're there to invite her to take her rightful place sitting between them because she is actually on her way to becoming a queen as well. So things are coming into fullness, are they not? So what happens then with card number 3? What's the outcome? Or at least, you know, it's an outcome card in this spread, but it's the next step, really. This is leading us further forward into 2020, February, March and beyond. Now this is a wonderful card to have, is it not? The 4 of Wands, so it's a Wands card again. That's twice we've had the Wands come up in this reading, and that's about fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So another invitation to think about where are those in your chart. And I'm really drawn to the idea of Leo with this one, actually, particularly because of the egos that's going on. And if you're a Leo cross-watching this, or if you know a Leo in your life somewhere, I'm not trying to blame them for everything, not at all. It's just that ego thing really often comes out with the Leo star sign. Can be in a good way, can be in not such a good way. And here we have that thing again, you know, everything is present here. She's 4 square, she's got a roof over her head here, sort of temporary roof. But it doesn't matter that it's a temporary roof because she's got a much more solid roof here. Looks like a real house. But of course it is a house of cards. So even though it looks complete, even though everything looks right in this card here, there is a game going on. That's always what's indicated when we get playing cards, and it's indicated here as well. So even though we've moved on, we've sort of come into the seniority over ourselves that we need to have in the Sun card here, which is the heart of the matter and where we are now. This next step forward, it's not a time to just sit back and think, well, I've made it now, I don't need to do any more, everything else will come. That's kind of nonsensical, as I'm sure we all know. Life is a thing where we can make progress and we can keep going and we can keep getting new things to happen all the time. So a great thing to rest and enjoy this happy time, which is just ahead of you at the moment, Pisces. It looks really good. But the other thing to do is, what do you do? What does she do when she's finished her cup of tea? She needs to put it on and she needs to keep moving. And this is a very lapis lazuli coloured cup here. So we are actually thinking about bringing in all the spiritual possibilities of the universe, bringing them in and bringing us around them. and drinking deeply of all the spiritual wisdom that's out there to be had. We've got the Cheshire Cat here, who tends to represent Alice's higher self in this deck, the Tarot in Wonderland deck. So, you know, take that time to meditate and get in touch with what's in your own higher chakras and where you actually want to be going yourself. The 4 Wands, it's a 4, you know, it's early in the journey really, and that's the important thing. Even though we've almost reached the stage of completion here, whenever we complete one thing, we're on to the next thing. So we're actually off to a flying start getting to number 4 already. The Wands are all about progress and actually getting things done, and they're in full flower here, these ones. So it really is looking good. The thing is, this is a great basis from which to go forward, and that's the main thing. So it's a question of not just resting on your laurels, but for goodness sake, do enjoy the cake, do enjoy stroking the cats, and look at this higher heart chakra pink here. If this is a love reading for you, then it's an incredibly positive reading. In fact, it looks positive all the way along. So where are you actually going to go next, Pisces? That's always the thing that's worth thinking about, and I believe that's what motivates most people to seek advice from something like the tarot or something mystical. It's all about the higher self, which we're really seeing written large in number 19, the Sun here. And this is about getting the higher self into perspective, is it not? And in the group sense, you know, it's not just about you, it's about other people, how everyone's higher self fits together. And also about leaving what no longer serves you. Maybe you're up and above this rather futile battle that's going on here in the 5 of Wands. Maybe it really is time. In fact, you know, I'm sure it is really time for you to take the next steps forward, because you've reached this stage of completion and you've got a good degree of mastery of yourselves at this point, Pisces. So move on to the 4 of Wands. It's sure to be leading you even further into good things, as long as you keep on having your sort of manifesting hat on. Keep on believing, keep on visualizing what you want. Vision questing is the thing to do. We're still early in the year, and as we go further and deeper into the year, we're going to be able to manifest all kinds of good things. That's certainly the case with Pisceans at the moment. Looking at this spread, it's very positive. It's all flowering, it's all happening, it's all coming to fruition, but it's about where you go from here. Okay, Pisces, well, thanks very much for watching. Do give me a subscribe if you haven't already. Tap that bell to receive all notifications. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. And do leave me a comment. Let me know how you get on with all this kind of thing. In terms of birth charts, right, do think about getting one done. All the major astrology websites actually will give you a free birth chart if you just type your details in. And as impersonal as they seem, you know, birth charts really are about statistics. Readings like this are about you and where you personally are going. And, you know, there are so many readings on YouTube. It all depends which one you're drawn to, but you're sure to be drawn to the right ones. Okay, so think about that birth chart. Think about the fire signs around you or in your chart. That's Leo, Sagittarius and Aries, because they've come up twice here with the wand cards. And the sun, well, let the sun shine bright, and may the sun shine bright on you, Pisces. I'll be back with more readings very soon. Meanwhile, have a fantastic February 2020. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again. Peace.